Welcome to the deep dive. What we do here is we take these massive research projects, the kind that take years, decades even, and we boil them down.
Yeah, distill them into the core ideas, the stuff you can actually use.
Exactly, actionable knowledge. And today, wow, we're diving deep into, well, the architecture of success, really. It's based on this huge seminar about time and life management.
Huge is right. We're talking, what, over 30,000 hours of study across more than 80 countries? It's pretty comprehensive.
It really is. And the core idea, it sounds simple maybe, but it's powerful.
It is. Basically, the research found that successful people, the winners, as the material calls them, they just do things differently, consistently differently.
Than unsuccessful people.
Right. And the big takeaway, the really hopeful part, is that these differences, they aren't, innate genius or anything. They're learnable.
Learnable habits, things you can practice and actually install in your own life.
Exactly. Which shifts the whole conversation, doesn't it?
Totally. We're not just talking about, managing your email inbox better.
No. The source material is really explicit here. It says time management is life management. It's personal management.
It's about having control, having clarity, knowing your direction.
Absolutely. And they looked at, hundreds of biographies, autobiographies, high achievers throughout history.
And found a common thread.
A really strong one. These people were always, and I mean always, well organized. They were efficient. They valued their time incredibly highly.
They got it. Time is the one thing you can't get back. Non-renewable.
Precisely. Success correlates strongly with using it well. Those who struggle, often they just let it slip away.
So our goal here for you listening is basically a shortcut. We're going to unpack these 21 key ideas, foundational concepts.
And the promise from the source material is pretty bold if you apply these systematically.
You could genuinely increase your productive time by maybe 2 or 3 hours a day.
Think about that. 2 extra hours, focused. What could that do for your income, your career, just your general sense of satisfaction even?
Huge potential impact. But there's a catch, right? There's always a prerequisite.
There is. And it's the big one, self-discipline. The research boils it down beautifully, I think.
Yeah.
Time management is fundamentally self-discipline in action.
Meaning you have to actually do this stuff, practice it, even when it feels awkward or difficult at first.
Until it becomes second nature. That's the challenge and the key.
Okay, let's dig in. Idea number 1, the absolute foundation, goals.
The axle around which the wheel of life turns. That's how the seminar puts it. Goals give you direction, they focus your energy, they set your priorities.
And here's the statistic that honestly, it just stops you in your tracks. The top 3% of people in any field, they have clear written goals.
While the other 97%, they might have wishes, hopes, vague ideas, but not clear, defined goals, or maybe none at all.
That clarity is just everything. If you don't know where you're going, how can you possibly manage the time to get there?
Exactly. And the seminar breaks goals down quite usefully into 3 main areas to make sure you're covering your whole life, not just work.
Right. First up, personal and family goals. This is the deep stuff, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
Your why, your reasons for being alive, health, happiness, relationships, what you want for yourself, for your loved ones.
Because if that inner world is shaky, the outer stuff, it's not sustainable.
Not in the long run, no. Then you got the second category, business, career, financial, material goals.
Okay, this is more the external stuff. Your contribution to the world, your achievements, things people often focus on more easily, maybe.
Often, yes. But then there's the third leg of the stool, which actually supports the other 2, self-development goal.
Continuous learning, personal growth.
Exactly. The research suggests your commitment here to getting better, learning more, that's actually the limiting factor on achieving those other goals.
You have to grow yourself to handle bigger success. Makes sense?
And to help pinpoint what you really value, because sometimes we're not totally honest with ourselves.
We think we value one thing, but deep down,
It's something else. So they offer 3 really insightful mental exercises. First one, the lottery test. Imagine, boom, you win $1 million today. You have total time and money freedom. Starting tomorrow, what changes? What do you do differently with your time?
Interesting. Okay, what's the second one? This one sounds intense.
It is. It's the 6 months to live test. Imagine you find out today you only have 6 months left.
Oof.
What do you stop doing immediately? What becomes your absolute focus? Who do you spend that time with?
That cuts right to the bone, doesn't it?
It reveals your core non-negotiable values. And the research is clear. Real self-esteem, deep happiness that comes from aligning your daily actions with those true values.
If there's a mismatch, if you're busy doing things you don't genuinely value.
That's a recipe for stress, guaranteed.
Okay, and the third question, the dare to dream.
This one pulls you forward. It asks, what one great thing would you dare to attempt if you knew, absolutely knew, you could not fail?
Removes the fear factor.
Completely. And reveals what you see as your highest purpose, your biggest potential contribution.
So once you've done that work, figured out these goals, the crucial step.
Write them down. This is what the top 1% do. Write them down, refine them, carry them with you somehow, make them real, visible, constant reminders.
Got it. Which leads straight into idea number 2. Organize plans of action. Goals are the what, plans are the how.
Exactly. You need the destination, but you also need the map. And the research is pretty blunt here. Action without planning.
Needs to.
Frustration, underachievement, wasted time, stress. Basically, it's the root cause of pretty much every failure.
Strong words. So how do you build this plan?
It's logical, really. Take a goal you've written down, list out every single step you can think of that's needed to achieve it.
Brain dump everything.
Then organize that list. What comes first? What depends on something else? What's most important? Only then do you start implementing.
So it's this continuous cycle. Set goals, plan the steps, execute, repeat.
That's what the seminar calls the master skill of success. Continuous goal setting and continuous planning. Get good at that, and everything else gets easier.
And the flip side, the warning.
Yeah.
It's pretty stark.
It really is.
Yeah.
It says, essentially, if you don't have clear goals for your own life,
You end up working for someone who does.
you're condemned, is the word they use. Condemned forever to work for those who do. Doesn't matter how smart you are, how much education you have. If you're not driving towards your own destination, you're a passenger in someone else's car.
Wow. Okay. That's a powerful thought to transition on. So goals and plans are set. Now we get into the day-to-day, the mechanics. Idea number 3, analysis. Make a list.
And here's where you get that quick win, that immediate boost. The research found just the simple act of making a list before you start something.
Increases productivity by how much?
By 25%.
Instantly. 25% just for writing stuff down first. That's crazy low-hanging fruit.
Isn't it? And there's a best practice for when to make these lists.
Okay.
Make a weekly list, maybe Sunday night or Saturday, plan the week. But critically, make your daily list the evening before.
The night before. Why is that so important?
It's about engaging your subconscious mind. You feed it the plan, the problems, the priorities.
And it works on it overnight while you sleep.
Exactly. You often wake up with insights, solutions, a clearer sense of the order of things. It gives you a running start in the morning.
I like that. Outsourcing the initial processing.
Plus, the list itself serves a very practical function during the day. It's your track to run on.
Keeps you focused when interruptions inevitably happen.
Right. You don't drift aimlessly. You look at the list, see the next thing.
Yeah.
It also forces a quick analysis. Can I delegate this? Does this really need doing now? Is it even relevant?
And let's not underestimate the psychological side, ticking things off.
Oh, huge. It provides that feeling of accomplishment, of progress. Remember how the source defined happiness?
The progressive realization of a worthy ideal.
Exactly. Checking off important items on your list is that progressive realization day by day. It feels good. It builds momentum.
Okay, but having a list is one thing. Knowing where to start is another. Which brings us to idea 4. Set priorities.
This is where most people stumble. You've got 10 things on your list. Which one matters most? The seminar says the biggest single problem in, well, human life
Whoa.
is figuring out what's relevant versus what's irrelevant. We substitute being busy for being effective.
Activity versus achievement.
Precisely. And this is where the classic 80-20 rule comes in, the Pareto principle.
80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts.
It applies everywhere. 80% of the value you create, your income, your important outcomes, comes from just 20% of the things you do. Most of your activity. Relatively low value.
So the difference between effective and ineffective people boils down to this.
Largely, yes. Effective people are disciplined about focusing on the vital few, that critical 20%. Ineffective people, they get bogged down in the trivial many.
Why? Because the trivial stuff is easier, more fun, less intimidating.
All of the above. It lets you feel busy, lets you avoid the hard, important work that really moves the needle.
So the key question we need to keep asking ourselves.
Constantly, throughout the day. What is the most valuable use of my time right now?
Just asking and answering that question honestly, the research suggests what kind of improvement?
Potentially huge. Increases in performance, productivity, profitability. anywhere from 10% to 50%, just from that one question guiding your actions.
That's incredible. How do you judge value, though? How do you test it?
Look at the futurity of decisions. Ask, does this task have significant long-term consequences? Important tasks always ripple into the future. They're strategic.
Whereas unimportant tasks, their impact is immediate or negligible.
Right. And here's the sad statistic. Most people spend something like 80% of their time dealing with yesterday's problems, putting out fires, reacting.
Only 20% on future opportunities.
Roughly. Highly effective people, they flip that. They are future-focused, opportunity-driven.
Okay, so you've identified the vital few, the high-value tasks. Now what? Idea 5, concentration, single handling.
This is crucial. You can't achieve anything truly significant without the ability to focus single-mindedly on one thing until it is 100% complete.
No multitasking on important stuff.
Absolutely not. The cost of distraction is enormous. Time and motion studies have shown that starting a task, getting interrupted, restarting that cycle
Can take how much longer?
up to 500% longer than just doing it straight through without interruption. 5 times the effort for the same result, just because of context switching.
500%. That's staggering. So the rule is absolute.
Single handling. Pick your most important task, your A1, we'll call it later, and you stay with it.
Yeah.
Discipline yourself not to deviate until it's done.
But what about all the other things? People worry, right?
Right.
If I focus solely on this big thing, emails are piling up, calls aren't returned.
That's the fear, yes. But if you've prioritized correctly using the 80-20 rule and that most valuable use of time question.
Then those other things are, by definition, less important right now.
Exactly. And here's the psychological kicker. When you complete a major important task, you get this huge rush. Endorphins, feelings of competence, high self-esteem, energy.
It fuels you for the next task.
It absolutely does. Conversely, spend all day being busy on low-priority stuff. You end the day exhausted, stressed, feeling like you achieved nothing.
Got no bang for the buck, as the material says.
Right. Because you spent your precious energy on things that didn't really matter. Peter Drucker said it best, didn't he? There is nothing so useless as doing efficiently that which should not be done at all.
Concentration prevents that. It ensures your effort goes where it counts.
Okay, so we have these 5 pillars: goals, plans, analysis, lists, priorities, and concentration. How do we pull that all together into a practical daily system?
This is where the seminar offers a really elegant tool, the ABCDE method. It's an immediate way to apply those principles to any list you make.
A, B, C, D, E, like grading your tasks.
Pretty much. You assign a letter based on the consequences of doing or not doing the task.
Okay, so A tasks. A is for must do, top priority. These are tasks with serious negative consequences if you don't do them. Missing a critical client deadline, for example.
You got to do the A's. What up, B?
B is should do, second priority. There are consequences, but they're milder, like returning a non-urgent phone call. It'd be good to do, but the world won't end if it slips a day.
And the rule is?
Never work on a B task if there's an A task left undone. The A's always come first.
Got it. C.
C is nice to do. Things like having coffee with a colleague, reading an interesting but non-essential article. There are basically no consequences if you don't do these.
So C's only happen after all A's and B's are finished?
Ideally, yes.
Yeah.
Then D is for delegate. Anything that someone else can do, especially if they can do it at a lower cost per hour than your own value.
We'll come back to that. And E?
E is eliminate, whatever you possibly can. Tasks that were once important but aren't anymore, things you're doing out of habit. Just cross them off, get rid of them.
So using ABCDE on your daily list forces you through that whole sequence. Goals, implied by the A's, priorities, ranking A1, A2, B1, activities, the list itself, scheduling, doing A's first, and implementing.
Exactly. It's a simple, powerful structure for applying self-discipline right at the task level.
Okay, moving on. Idea number 6, deadlines and rewards. This taps into our basic motivation, right?
Absolutely. The research confirms what we kind of know intuitively. Something like 85% of our motivation comes from the consequences we expect, the rewards or punishments.
So we need to consciously manage those consequences.
You can't leave it to chance. If you have a big, important task in A1 that you're dreading, you need to build in rewards. Small, immediate rewards for making progress.
Like the example in the seminar about making sales calls.
Yeah, it's a classic. Put a cup of coffee or a cookie, whatever you like, next to the phone. You complete one difficult call, you get a sip or a bite.
You're literally training your brain to associate pleasure with completing that tough, high-value action.
You're conditioning yourself with positive reinforcement. It works. And deadlines are the other side of the motivation coin, the external pressure.
How should we set deadlines effectively?
First, give yourself some buffer. Don't set them impossibly tight initially. Second, always aim to finish early. Build in that cushion. But the real trick,
Is
tell other people. Make a commitment. Promise your boss, promise a client, promise a colleague you'll have it done by X time.
creating a forcing system, public accountability.
Exactly. Because without that external pressure, we all tend to fall victim to Parkinson's law.
Which states?
Work expands to fill the time allotted for its completion. Give yourself 8 hours for a 2-hour job, and somehow it'll take 8 hours, full of distractions, procrastination.
But the flip side is also true, isn't it?
Yes. Work also contracts under pressure. That's what highly effective people leverage. They use tight, often self-imposed deadlines. They get that 8 hours of work done in 2, especially when there's a genuine emergency or a strong commitment. That speed is a key differentiator.
Okay, discipline requires honesty, though. Which brings us to idea 7, the time log. This sounds potentially painful.
It can be. Because it forces you to confront reality. Effective people know, accurately, where their time actually goes, often down to the minute.
And there's a correlation between how finely you measure time and how successful you are.
A strong one, according to the research. The most successful people tend to think in minutes. Less successful people think in hours or days or sometime next week. They treat time as if it's abundant.
But the scary part is the disconnect between perception and reality.
Huge disconnect. The studies found 60 to 80% of people are seriously mistaken about how they spend their time.
You think you spent 3 hours writing that report?
But when you actually log it, maybe it was 1 hour writing, 1 hour chatting with colleagues who stopped by, 30 minutes checking email, 30 minutes getting coffee.
The only way to know for sure is to track it.
For a period, yeah. A week, maybe 2. Keep a simple log.
Yeah.
Every hour or even every 15, 30 minutes, just jot down what you were actually doing.
Then comes the hard part, the analysis.
Looking at that log and asking, is this how I spent my time aligned with my biggest goals, my A priorities, my high payoff activities?
And if there's a big gap, that's where stress comes from.
Often, yes. That feeling of chronic stress or anxiety can be your subconscious screaming, you're majoring in minors, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
So the time log isn't just diagnostic, it's a tool for continuous adjustment. But it takes discipline.
That word again. Self-discipline to measure honestly, analyze critically, and then adjust your behavior. That's the path to mastery. Okay, so we know where our time should go, but resistance is real. Idea number 8, overcoming procrastination.
And the seminar makes a distinction, right? Not all procrastination is bad.
Exactly. There's positive procrastination. That's intelligently deciding to delay or ignore low-priority tasks, your B's, C's, D's, E's, so you can focus all your energy on your A tasks. That's just smart priority setting.
But then there's the bad kind, negative procrastination.
Which is delaying your most important tasks, your MITs, usually your A1 tasks, putting off the big, scary, high-value thing.
And we have a natural tendency to do that, don't we? We prefer urgent over important.
It's a very strong bias. Important tasks often don't feel urgent until they become a crisis. Urgent tasks, like a ringing phone or a quick email, feel like they need immediate attention, even if they're totally unimportant in the grand scheme.
They give you that little hit of, I did something.
Exactly, a false sense of accomplishment. So, to fight negative procrastination, the advice is pretty direct. Program your subconscious.
With W. Clement Stone's mantra,
Do it now, do it now, do it now. Repeat it. Train yourself to have an immediate action response when you identify that A1 task.
develop a sense of urgency, which the research says is pretty rare.
Very rare. Less than 2% of the population naturally has a strong sense of urgency, but it's found universally among top performers.
So it's a cultivated skill. How do you cultivate it if the task feels overwhelming?
Salami slicing. Break it down into ridiculously small pieces. If the task is write a 50-page report, the first step isn't that. The first step is open a new document or write the title.
Make the first step so small you can't not do it.
Exactly. It overcomes that initial inertia. And remember that CEO study, the 2 things that put people on the fast track.
Ability to set priorities.
And the ability to get the job done fast. Developing that bias for action, that sense of urgency, is critical for advancement.
Okay, what if the task could be done by someone else? Idea 9, delegate.
This is all about focusing your valuable time on your highest value activities. You need to know your approximate hourly rate, or what you want it to be.
Let's use the example from the material, aiming for $50 a year.
Working standard hours, that makes you roughly a $25 an hour person. The rule is, You should delegate anything that can be done competently by someone earning significantly less than that.
So tasks that could be done for $5, $10, $15 an hour.
Like mowing the lawn, washing the car, routine filing, maybe even some basic research or errands. If you, the $25 an hour person, are spending your time doing $10 an hour work.
You're losing money, essentially, or losing the opportunity to do $25 an hour work.
Precisely. And the sources are emphatic. If you can't or won't delegate, you cannot grow. Your personal capacity becomes the bottleneck for your success.
But delegation goes wrong a lot. Why?
The number one reason, overwhelmingly, is lack of clarity. Fuzzy instructions lead to fuzzy results.
So the process for effective delegation needs to be rigorous. Step 1.
Think it through yourself first. Write down exactly what needs to be done, what the desired outcome looks like, what the standards are.
Accept.
Pick the right person, someone with the skills, the time, the capabilities.
So step 3, crucial one.
Make it crystal clear. Communicate exactly what's needed by when to what standard. Leave no room for ambiguity. Confirm understanding.
And step 4, don't just fire and forget.
Never. Check, review, inspect, follow up. If you delegate a task, you're still ultimately responsible for the outcome. Inspection is part of the deal.
Okay, delegation can save time. What about things that eat time? Idea 10, meetings.
Oh, the black hole of corporate time. The stats are depressing. Average person spends, 3 to 5 years of their life in meetings?
Years, and how much of that is wasted?
Estimates range from 50 to 70%. Think about that. The average business person might spend a quarter of their day in meetings, and half of that time is unproductive.
So rule number 1 for meeting efficiency.
Treat it like an investment. Calculate the cost. Add up the approximate hourly rates of everyone in the room. Is the potential outcome worth that cost?
And if you don't absolutely need to be there.
Don't go. Ask for the minutes or a summary report afterwards. Politely decline if possible.
If you do have to go.
Insist on a clear purpose, stated up front. And demand a written agenda. Always deal with the most important items first. Don't save them for the end when time is short.
And be tactical about your own attendance.
Absolutely. Once you've made your contribution, or the discussion moves to topics irrelevant to you, politely ask if you can be excused to get back to other priorities.
And punctuality is key here too, right?
Critical. Start on time, end on time. Always. Assume latecomers aren't coming. Waiting for people disrespects everyone else's time.
Okay, meetings are one-time sync. What about daily interruptions? Idea 11.
The two main culprits identified are the telephone and the unexpected walk-in visitor, especially the socializer.
The phone. It's like a Pavlovian response, isn't it? It rings. We have to answer.
We're conditioned from our teenage years. We associate it with social connection. For work, you have to reframe it as a business tool under your control.
So, tactics.
Have calls screened if possible. Batch your outgoing and return calls. Let voicemail or an answering machine pick up when you're concentrating. Unplug it if you have to. If it's truly important, they'll call back or leave a message.
And the walk-in visitor, the person who just pops their head in.
Often, they're just looking for a diversion, maybe procrastinating themselves. The research calls them time wasters, bluntly.
So, how do you handle them efficiently but politely?
The moment they appear, stand up. If you're standing, they're less likely to sit down and settle in. It non-verbally signals brevity.
Good physical cue. What else?
Keep control of the conversation. Ask directly, how can I help? If they start rambling, gently guide them back. Use transition phrases like, well, great catching up, I need to get back to this report now, or even, is there anything else urgent because I have a call in 5 minutes?
What about that suggestion of just saying, can it wait till this afternoon?
That can be very effective. The sources estimate 90% of the time. If it's not truly urgent, the person will forget about it or solve it themselves by the afternoon. It filters out the non-essential.
It requires being assertive about your own time boundaries.
That's the underlying theme for all these interruption tactics. You have to value your time enough to protect it.
All right, let's talk about structuring the work itself in the environment. Idea 12, key result areas, or KRAs.
This goes beyond just tasks on a list. It's about understanding the outcomes you're responsible for. The fundamental question is, why am I actually on the payroll? What results am I expected to produce?
And this is a major source of workplace stress, people not knowing.
Huge. The research suggests 80, maybe even 90% of people aren't entirely clear on what their boss expects as their key contributions. They're busy, sure, but are they busy doing the right things?
Leads to frustration, wasted effort, anxiety.
Absolutely. So the solution is direct communication. Make a list of everything you do, all your activities and responsibilities. Take it to your boss.
And ask them to prioritize it.
Exactly. Which of these are the A's, the absolute must-do results? Which are the B's, the C's? You need absolute clarity on the 3 to 5 key results that define success in your role.
Because those KRAs are what promotions and raises are based on.
Ultimately, yes. You need to be demonstrably excellent at delivering your key results.
Okay, once you know your KRAs, how can you do the associated tasks more efficiently? Idea 13. Batching tasks.
This leverages the learning curve. When you do the same type of task repeatedly, you get faster and better at it. The time per task can drop significantly, sometimes by as much as 80% once you're in the groove.
So instead of mixing things up,
group similar tasks together. Make all your phone calls in one block. Answer all your emails in another. Process all your paperwork at once. Write reports during a dedicated writing block.
Avoid the mental switching costs.
Precisely. Every time you switch task types from email to phone to writing, you lose momentum. You have to re-engage, figure out where you were. Batching minimizes that setup time and maximizes flow.
Makes sense. Now, idea 14 might be controversial for some. Neatness, the state of your workspace.
Yeah, we all know the stereotype of the brilliant but messy professor or scientist. And maybe some highly intelligent people can function in chaos.
But the research suggests
they're using their intelligence to overcome inefficiency, not because the mess helps. For most people, a clean, organized workspace significantly boosts productivity. The figures cited are between 20 and 40% improvement just from clearing your desk, so only the task you're currently working on is visible.
Wow, 20–40% again. That's another big gain for a simple habit. How do you clear the desk effectively?
The seminar suggests the TRAF system. TRAF.
P's for
Toss. Your wastebasket is your most valuable organizational tool. If you don't need it, bin it. Be ruthless. Refer. If it landed on your desk but belongs to someone else or requires action from another department, pass it on immediately. Don't let it sit there. Action. If it requires action from you, put it in a designated action file or folder. Don't leave it cluttering your main workspace. You'll deal with it during a batched action time.
And F.
File. But only if necessary. Before filing anything, ask that critical question. What's the worst that would happen if I could never find this piece of paper again?
And if the answer is not much, or I could easily get it again.
Toss it. Don't file it. Most filed information is never looked at again. Be realistic about future need.
And neatness isn't just about personal efficiency, is it? It's about perception, too.
Hugely. That statistic is eye-opening. 98% of senior executives surveyed said they would hesitate or refuse to promote someone with a consistently messy desk.
Why? What does it signal to them?
Inefficiency, undependability, lack of discipline, maybe even incompetence. Fair or not, your workspace sends a message about your professionalism.
Okay, so clean desk, batch tasks. But what about finding the time for deep work? Idea 15. Getting chunks of time.
This is essential. Most really important work, strategic thinking, creative problem solving, writing complex documents that requires uninterrupted focus, usually blocks of 60 to 90 minutes, sometimes longer.
You can't do that kind of work in 5-minute bursts between phone calls.
Impossible. The quality suffers immensely. So high performers are masters at creating these chunks of protected time.
How? What are the tactics?
Time shifting is common. Getting up super early, maybe 5 or 5:30 a.m., and working for 2 or 3 solid hours before the household wakes up where the emails start flooding in.
Getting a head start on the day.
A massive one. You can often get your most important creative or strategic work done before 9 a.m. Other tactics include coming in an hour early, staying an hour too late when the office quiets down.
Working through lunch.
That's an option too. Just make sure you then take a proper break to eat afterward. Don't just skip it entirely. And leveraging travel time is key.
Right, you mentioned the plane earlier.
An hour on a plane, free from calls and walk-ins, can genuinely be as productive as 3 hours in a noisy office environment. If you plan for it, sit by the window, minimize distractions.
And driving time. That leads perfectly into the next section.
Exactly. Idea 16. Transition time and continuous learning. This connects back to those self-development goals. The fundamental rule is your income reflects the value you provide. To earn more, you must learn more.
So top performers dedicate time specifically to learning.
At least an hour a day, according to the research. Reading books in their field, studying trade journals, taking courses, listening to educational audio, taking notes, deliberate practice.
And transition times are prime candidates for this, like driving.
It's a university on wheels. The average person spends 500 to 1,000 hours a year driving. That's equivalent to 1 or 2 full university semesters.
Most people fill that with radio, music, idle chat.
Imagine swapping that for targeted audio learning, related to your career or personal growth. You could become one of those knowledgeable people in your field just using commute time.
It requires discipline, though, choosing learning over entertainment.
Always back to discipline. Same applies to coffee breaks, 2 20-minute breaks a day, that's 40 minutes, adds up to over 4 weeks of work time per year.
Could use that for focused reading?
Or reviewing notes, planning, and lunch breaks. An hour a day is maybe 6 full weeks of potential learning or focused work time annually. Don't waste these pockets.
Okay, idea 17 revisits the telephone, but framing it strictly as a business tool.
Not a social tool, not for idle chat during work hours. The mantra is, get on, get the business done, get off. Fast.
Maintain control. Call back at times that suit your schedule, ideally during a batched calling time.
And when you answer, be direct. Hi, this is your name. How can I help you? Or what can I do for you? Get straight to the purpose.
And when making calls?
Treat it like a planned meeting. Have an agenda, even if it's just bullet points. If you call someone regularly, keep a running file for them. Cover the points, then end the call politely.
What about those people who just talk and talk?
You have to set boundaries politely but firmly. John, I've only got 2 more minutes before my next meeting. Was there anything else critical? Or, I need to jump off now, but maybe we can continue this later if needed. Sometimes a simple gotta run is necessary.
And always be ready to take notes.
Absolutely. Power is with the person who has the best notes. Have pen and pad ready before you answer or make a call. Signals preparedness and professionalism.
Idea 18. Punctuality. Seems basic, but it matters.
They matter hugely because it's so rare. The seminar claims less than 5% of people are consistently punctual. Being on time, or even better, 5-10 minutes early, Lombardi time, makes you stand out.
How are punctual people perceived?
More confident, more reliable, more organized, smarter, more competent, more likely to be promoted. It builds trust and respect instantly.
And being late?
Signals the opposite: sloppy, undisciplined, unreliable. Worse, it's seen as a major insult to the person you kept waiting. Shows disrespect for their time.
The advice is stark. Never hire someone late for an interview.
And if you're a manager, never keep your own team waiting. Sets a terrible example and undermines morale.
Okay, idea 19, work simplification. Always looking for a better way.
Constantly asking, how can I do this faster, easier, cheaper, better? Think about how farming or manufacturing became exponentially more productive through mechanization and process improvement. Apply that mindset to your own tasks.
The seminar lists 7 ways to get more done.
Right. 1. Work longer hours. Use cautiously. 2. Work faster. Increase urgency. 3. Do fewer things. Prioritize ruthlessly. 4. Do more important things. Focus on high-value KRAs. 5. Concentrate on strengths. Do what you're good at.
6. Make fewer mistakes. That's a big one.
Huge time saver. Remember, never enough time to do it right, always enough time to do it over. Quality saves time. And 7. Use teamwork. Do things together where appropriate.
Idea 20. This might be the hardest for some people. The magic word, no.
You have to learn to say no, politely but firmly. Say no to requests, obligations, activities, committees, projects that don't align with your most important goals and priorities.
Because every time you say yes to something unimportant,
You're implicitly saying no to something that is important time with family, work on your A1 task, personal development. Your time is finite.
that junk mail statistic is incredible. Average person spends 8 months of their life sorting junk mail.
8 months. Because they didn't say no at the source or learn to eliminate it efficiently. People who don't value their own time won't value yours either. You have to protect it.
So how to say no gracefully?
Delay can be your friend. Instead of an immediate yes or no, say, let me check my commitments and get back to you. Or, let me think about that.
Buys you time to consider it properly.
And often, the requester finds another solution. Or you can come back 24 hours later and say, thanks for thinking of me, but given my current priorities, I won't be able to take that on right now. Polite but clear refusal.
It's a crucial skill for focus. Okay, last one. Idea 21. Balance.
This brings it all back home. Why are we doing all this? Why manage time so rigorously? The ultimate purpose isn't just to be a productivity machine.
It's to improve the overall quality of your life.
Exactly. Efficiency is the means, not the end goal. And the true measure of life quality, according to this research.
The quality of your relationships.
Yes. Health, peace of mind, and your relationships. Spouse, kids, parents, loved ones. Those are consistently rated as the highest values when people are really honest.
But it's easy to lose sight of that in the pursuit of career goals.
Dangerously easy. The data cited is heartbreaking. Average working parent spending only 30 seconds a day in focused conversation with their child.
30 seconds.
And the average couple, only 4 minutes a day in real intimate communication. We get so caught up in the urgent of work, we neglect the truly important at home.
So the final message is, use these time management skills not just for work, but to consciously carve out and protect time for the people who matter most.
That's the ultimate return on investment. Use efficiency to buy back time to invest in love, connection, and well-being. That's true life management. Hashtag tag Rokro.
So let's just quickly recap that core sequence. It starts with clear written goals.
Then you build organized plans.
Yeah.
Breaking down the steps.
Apply ruthless priorities. What's the most valuable use of time? The vital few.
Execute with intense concentration, single-handling that top priority until it's done.
And underpinning it all, cultivate that sense of urgency. Do it fast. Do it now.
Practice that system consistently with self-discipline, and the results described, increased productivity, effectiveness, and ultimately life satisfaction, seem almost inevitable. You master your time, you master your life.
And to keep it all grounded, to ensure that efficiency serves your true values, we'll leave you with that one powerful question to reflect on regularly.
What would you do differently if you knew you only had 6 months left to live?
Let the answer to that question guide your priorities, guide how you use the minutes and hours of your day, starting right now.